It's one thing you can't argue: the versatility and durability of these Weber kettles. If you've owned one, you know exactly what I mean. You know, this one right here, this old Weber kettle sitting on my deck is older than my son. Recently, he asked me to teach him how to use it. So while we're grilling together, I realized something. There are a few simple techniques to getting more even heat on a kettle than most people ever notice. One thing I've learned after all this time is this: these kettles are indirect grilling machines. That dome lid gives you beautiful convection heat transfer. But what about when you want to go direct? That's when things get interesting. Direct grilling on a kettle takes a little more control and a lot more awareness. The first thing to understand is the grate height. The Weber kettle sits lower than most grills, and the distance between the coals and your cooking grate is tight. That makes fuel control critical. A lot of folks play it safe and set up two zones. Coals on one side, a safety area or cool zone on the other. Nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you want to utilize the entire grill. When you spread those coals evenly across the entire kettle, you maximize your cooking area, but you introduce some risk. You've got to nail both your fuel estimates and your grill management strategy. So let's talk tips for managing a full bed direct heat cook. Tip number 1, fuel estimates. Keep it thin. I like a single even layer of briquettes, no more than that. Before I light anything though, I'll actually measure my fuel first. I'll lay out the briquettes cold, see what gives me a flat layer, then put only that amount into my chimney starters. Now here's something most folks overlook: not all charcoal burns the same. I've been doing some testing with B&B briquettes, and what I found is that they give a steadier, more consistent burn than Kingsford original briquettes. Kingsford hits harder early on, but the heat fades faster. And if you're using lump charcoal, that's a whole different rhythm. It burns hotter, reacts faster to airflow changes, and because the pieces are irregular, you'll get more hot spots unless you space them carefully. So when you're spreading your coals evenly across the kettle, you still have to think about what kind of charcoal you're using and how it behaves. Every brand and type burns a little different. It's important that you spend time getting to know your particular fuel's personality. Tip number 2, read the signs. Your grill's gonna tell you what's happening if you pay attention. Listen for the sizzle, watch the smoke color, and feel the draft from the vent. If you hear food sizzling too aggressively, your fire's running hot. If smoke looks heavy and white, that could be grease vaporization, or you've got your vents closed too much and you're smothering the fire. Learn to read these signs. That's how you rely less on gadgets and learn how to manage temperature by instinct. Tip number 3, locate your hot zones. Don't simply make assumptions. With every cook, they could shift. Sometimes it's the back left, sometimes it's the front right. Watch which pieces of food cook fastest. That tells you where the hot zones are today. Once you know that, move your food accordingly. Rotate, flip, and stagger those pieces to keep them cooking even. But here's where the kettle gives you something special. On most grills like offsets, barrel grills, vertical smokers, or even Kamado style cookers, the vent configuration is fixed. The airflow path is set. You can't change where the heat moves. But on the Weber kettle, you can. The lid vent rotates, and by changing its position, you're literally changing how the grill drafts, and in turn, where your hot zones form. Here's what's really happening when you rotate that lid. The Weber kettle drafts like a little wind tunnel. Air enters in through the bottom vents, flows across your coal bed, and exits through the top vent on the lid. Wherever that exhaust sits, that's the direction your air and heat get pulled. During an even spread direct heat cook, I like to start the exhaust vent at the 12 o'clock position. Then during the cook, we can rotate to 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock as the cook goes on. Now, I only use this lid rotation technique when I'm direct grilling, when the food's right over the coals. That's when every small airflow change can shift where the heat builds up. If you're running an indirect setup, it's a different story. In that case, you want your exhaust vent opposite the fire, positioned over the food, so air gets pulled across the coals, sweeps the heat over the top, and exits through the lid. That's how you keep convection heat transfer even inside the kettle. That's the beauty of the Weber kettle. Once your coals are spread evenly across the entire grill and you're managing your vent position, you can hold a nearly even temperature from one side to the other, close enough that every piece cooks predictably without any major hot zones. If you want to go deeper into controlling fuel, airflow, and fire setup, grab our fire management guide. We took over 30 years of experience and lessons learned and created this resource that's intended to help backyard pitmasters just like you. Once you practice a bit more and learn how to manage that fire, the Weber kettle stops being unpredictable and becomes an affordable backyard grilling machine. That's the same lesson I was showing my son that day. That fire management isn't just about heat, it's about awareness. Once you learn to read your grill and guide the fire, it stops being guesswork. Thank you so much for watching Daddy DIY Grilling. Until next time, grill boldly, serve proudly, and enjoy the process. I want to give a big shout out to our channel members. It's because of your generous support that we're able to keep creating and sharing these grilling resources. You're a huge part of this community, and we couldn't do it without you.
My question is that how do you know what temperature the fire is, so you know, like, or if since you're cooking the chicken, like how do you know what temperature the fire is so you know to cook it? No, not to cook the chicken.
I feel like you're asking me more than this. So what I'm hearing you ask is, because you're asking me a question, but I think there's more behind it. So let me just answer first thing. If you want to know the number, you can use a thermometer. But I don't know that's what you're asking.
I'm asking like with the checking the coals and knowing like, okay, if you know cooking chicken around like 400 or something like that.
Right.
How do you know the fire is at 400, or is it not an exact number?
Yeah, it's not really about the number. I know when my food is hot. I know when my coals are hot enough by how much my food is changing over time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So it's not like an oven type of deal.
Right. I don't have to have a temperature. A lot of times I'll use a thermometer just to help me so I can communicate to other people, right? A number. But I'm comfortable on a grill that I can grill by feel. Like on this Weber right now, we don't have a thermometer on here. But I know that I'm running hot enough because I'm pleased with how much my chicken is changing over a certain amount of time. I don't want it to change too fast in 10 minutes. If that one side was black and charred in 10 minutes, that is too fast. If I changed in 10 minutes and I saw absolutely no change and the meat was raw like I first put it on, that's too slow. I want somewhere in between. Right?
Okay.
So when I go in and I check, that's part of reading the grill. I'm looking to see how much change has happened and how quickly are we approaching the finish line with this protein being done. I don't want to go too fast, and I don't necessarily want to go too slow for the way I'm grilling today. I want to dial it in and have somewhere in between. If I feel like I'm going too slow, this is where I can open up my vents. This is where I can add more fuel. This is where I can take the lid off my grill to give it more oxygen. Right? There's some things I can do to adjust that. If I'm going too fast, I can choke my grill down a little bit, but realizing that I may be shooting myself in the foot because now the fire isn't going to burn right. I might have to take some fuel off the grill because I might have added too much charcoal. So that's the correction that I made. Now you can make right. So yeah, you don't have to grill based on some number. A temperature. You can grill by feel, and using this Weber kettle, this one right here. I think I got this one. Yeah, I think I may have gotten this one a little, right? Maybe a little bit after you were born. This one right here. But the older one I had, yeah, was older than you, and this one might be right there. But you see, it doesn't have a thermometer. The newer ones do, but this one really taught me how to grill without it, and it's by feel.
So wondering this, it's not like doing like as far as temperature gauging and stuff. It's not like an oven, like a oven in the kitchen, where it's like you set the temperature and it stays that way throughout the entire time. It can
fluctuate. Yes.
Yes.
You don't have that. You don't have as much control. That's right.
So it's like a little bit unpredictable, but at the same time, it is predictable if you know what you're doing.
Yes. The temperature of setting the temperature of this grill relies largely on you and your ability to do that. Your ability understanding fire management and your ability to implement what you understand on your grill. So you are the temperature gauge. You are the thermometer. You are the thermostat, right? You are setting the temperature.
Okay. All right.
Right. That's your job.